All right, here in studio with us now, a local girl does good, Cristina Sicard.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
She is adorable, number one. So
thank
cute.
Thank you.
St. Thomas grad.
Woo, go Knights.
2014, you said.
Yes, it's been a while now.
God,
yeah.
you're like 10 years
I was
old.
telling these guys, though, I would drive every morning with my brother to school. We'd take the back roads to get there, running late as usual, and we would listen to Megan Christian every morning. And these crazies, they keep us awake. They made us laugh, and we listen to it every morning. So
You and my mom.
this is a dream, man.
I love it.
This is wonderful.
So speaking of dreams, did you ever think you'd be a published author?
When I was growing up, so back to the kindergarten days, I think that's when I started reading. I am bilingual in Spanish, so I was growing up trying to learn English and Spanish at the same time. Confusing time in my life, but I always thought, you know what, when you've got the Spanish and you've got this English down, you've got to work on your writing. And I always wanted to be an author, specifically for children's books. I would always go to North Canton Public Library, again with my brother, with my mom, who's in the studio. Love you, mommy. And we'd always go to North Canton Public Library, and I'd run up those, I call them the Lego block steps, because they're those blue colored steps that got little holes looking like Legos, run up to the children's department, and I just fell in love with all those books. And we check them out. Every summer, we do those like reading logs, trying to get all those prizes. Even in fourth grade, trying to win all these reading competitions at Pizza Hut when they had that. So,
Oh my gosh, book it.
Yes, book it. We'd always go through that drive-through. I'd say, I read my books.
They still have book it.
In my personal pan.
Yes, exactly. They still do it. And I'm like, Nash, you got to read your books for book it.
So you can get your pizza.
And you would get a button.
Yes,
with the stars.
And I got little medal. I got that right in my room. I'm cleaning out my room right now.
I miss book it.
Christian's from the Youngstown area. Clearly, you didn't have the book it
Whitetown.
there.
No, we had the English Festival.
No, that is too bad.
English Festival?
Nope.
Yeah, you had to read like a bunch of books, and you got to leave your school and go spend the day at YSU or something.
No.
And you would go to, like,
not the same.
you go to like writing classes.
No, because you get your reading done, and then you get pizza out of it.
And I would lie and say that I read books.
I believe
and
you.
didn't. And
I believe you.
I'm gonna join you on that one
Just
too.
to
Every
get
now and then, because it'd be coming to
You're
that
an
deadline.
author.
And
You can't not do that anymore.
I wasn't then. I wasn't then.
And
Now I
she's being
am.
honest. She's being
So I've
very
gotta be
honest.
authentic
I
about
did.
that one.
Like
Yeah.
I would just be like, "Yep, I read this book so I could get my little star and then my book it and get a little personal pin."
All right.
Part of the experience. Yeah.
So you grew up loving book. Cristina Sicard in here, the author of Harmony, a book you could get right now on Amazon.
It's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, online.
So,
gosh,
all right.
that's
So,
so
how do we
amazing.
take that to become? How in the hell did you become a published author? Like, how did this even happen?
So we've got this drive, right, starting from a young age. And I always say it doesn't matter. You don't have to start when you're a kid, because there's a lot of things I still don't know what the heck I'm doing for a lot of things.
Me too.
But that was one thing that I knew at one point you're going to do it. And so I went to OU with the intention of bettering my writing. I wanted to go into journalism, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm going to find somebody here. I'm going to annoy people. I'm going to ask about how can I get a book published. So I took, and I brought in this composition notebook about this class I took. It was nonfiction class that I took for children. I wanted fiction because that's more my route, and like picture books. But this whole log here, we had to analyze all these stories. And when I was taking this class, I met this wonderful professor named Julie Agnon, and she worked at National Geographic for Kids. And that was the person I was going to annoy. So I went to her office hours, and I said, Julie, how do I do this? I want to get my book published. And I even asked her about internships at National Geographic for Kids. And she said, I don't really know anybody anymore. And I thought, how do you not know anybody anymore there? She's got connections, but she was great in the sense that she pushed me, and she said, why don't you try Monday Creek Publishing? It's this publishing company outside of Athens. Nelsonville, that's about 20-ish minutes away. And so that's where I just said, I'm going to go for it. And I had a good friend, Katie Draculage. I went to high school with her, and we always talked about since high school. That's when I met her, about making a book together, because she's an incredible artist. And I just want to use that talent of hers. And that's when we started talking and getting serious. And we just spent some time in the library in our apartment and just getting to work.
That's amazing.
So when was the story Harmony written?
That was written, let me think now. Okay, so it came out in very end of 2018. So that was written about, 2 years ago now? Yeah.
Wow.
So I met Harmony. I was telling them I met him when he was 4 months old, little baby. Super cute, the fluffiest thing, friendliest thing. I knew nothing about llamas, because I was going to tell you guys. So in that, I took another class. This was my senior year. So again, I took the nonfiction for writing kids. That was my junior year. got me that just really pushing that drive. And then senior year, I'm taking, it's called your senior capstone. And we're publishing, it's called Southeast Ohio Magazine. And they gave me, we had to do research, and they gave me a story about inmates. And I'm like, inmates, I don't know about that one. And it falls through, and they're like, you want to write about llamas? I'm like, I know nothing about llamas, but let's do it. and I go out there, and I took Katie with me because I said, this is going to be the children's book. I just had it. I just knew it was just so bizarre to me, and I could connect it back to my life because I thought, what is a llama farm doing in Southeast Ohio? Because my family's from the Dominican Republic in the Caribbean, and I was always thinking, what am I doing in Ohio? Yeah. And I'm thinking, what are these llamas doing in Ohio? So when I met them, and then I met Donna, she's so charismatic. She's the owner. Yeah, we all ask ourselves sometimes, every now and then. And I met them. It all clicked there. And I said, and I asked her after the interview for this magazine, I said, do you mind if I write a children's book about you? And I think she was sort of like, okay.
Yeah, really.
Good one. You know, that classic, like, all right, good one. Come back to me with that. But I was serious, and I kept bothering her, and I would call her, and we went out several times back so Katie could sit there and draw the llamas, and I could interview her some more. And that farm is beautiful. It's called Timberlane Farm, and you can find that in Somerset, Ohio. It's
so the idea of the book was basically, it was kind of spurred because you saw a llama farm near OU.
Hadn't even seen it yet. Just knew that there was this llama farm, and knew that I could tie it back to my life somehow. And my family, for a lot of people, is just so important to me. So I thought, let's make this somewhat like realistic fiction, because we'll base it on a real llama, and then the beauty of Southeast Ohio, and then we'll combine it with a little bit of Cristina Sicard's life. So trying those two things.
Well, it says here, and you go to Amazon, I'm reading it, Little Harmony feels like he's stuck in Ohio. The rest of his llama family lives in Peru. Follow Harmony around the pasture, through the barn, and in the herd as he thinks about the place where he lives. It takes Harmony a trip around the farm to realize that Ohio is his home.
Oh,
wait.
Those heartstrings.
There you go.
It gets you.
So when you found out, we're talking to Cristina Sicard here, author of the book Harmony, which you can get on Amazon right now. Barnes and Noble, you can go
Leave
buy
a review too, please, because I get a lot of wonderful people. They say, okay, I got the book. Good job. And then I'm like, write that review.
Yeah.
They're like, I'll get to it. And I used to be like that too. And I used to be like that with any kind of those services, those surveys, when you go, to stores and everything. They're like, do the survey. I thought, what? And now I get it. Yeah. I totally get it. It makes a difference. Yeah.
We got about 3-4 minutes left here, Cristina. But tell me about that feeling when you realized that this book was getting published. I mean, you wrote it, you did it, you presented it. When they tell you, like, all right, we're going to publish your book.
Wow. My publisher, I just want to do a shout out to her, Gina McKnight. She is incredible. Not only because she works really hard, but she's a really good person. She cares a lot about the people that she works with. So that was godsend, really, to be able to work with her. And actually, Katie and I, we celebrated McDonald's.
Not bad. 2 for $5 right now.
We were told that this is going to happen. And we both did that little, like, that shriek, like, like looking at each other.
Yeah, I'm sure.
My gosh. And every time I go to McDonald's, I think of, I celebrated
I love
here.
that
This is where it all started. Yeah.
It really was a happy meal.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So what's in the future for you here?
So actually,
have you thought about choose your own adventure books?
Oh, I mean, that might work. Yeah,
when I was a kid, I used to read G.I. Joe and Transformers. Choose your own adventure book.
Not so much my genre, my route.
Right, I'm like 2 years older than you.
Feel, yeah,
or maybe 800.
He
but
could be
still,
your dad.
More the baby route.
You could be the mom.
I could.
I'm the 12-year-old for life here.
Be your mom, because we did this with Natalie. It didn't make sense, but yes, you could be.
We'll just be that family. We'll go together.
She's old.
We'll
too.
go around the country here. We'll be a fam promoting this book, Taylor.
There you go.
Anyway,
we'll dress up as the llama.
Yes.
I'm the front. You're the back. You're the back.
Lady, what was her name? I could be
Donna.
She'll be Donna, and you be the llama. Donna.
All right, there we go.
Here we go. My mom and I, we actually publishing my second book here in 2020.
Wow.
It's about a sloth, an anxious sloth who worries about everything.
I love sloths.
And his name, llamas and sloths.
An
big
anxious
thing right now.
sloth.
I love sloths. They're my favorite.
I just think it's
They are so adorable. They look like bald men
and I
who are
love
smiling.
That can I just say, I love that you're doing that, because I have a 10-year-old daughter right now, and she's at that age where, like, she's in between and she has nerves all the time.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I can't relate, because I'm like, I don't remember being 10 and going through that,
Getting all
so
angsty.
I love
yes.
that. Yes.
Uh-huh. So Mom is doing all the illustrations, Mommy.
Awesome.
Watercolor. They're just absolutely beautiful. And we're getting that together. So hopefully, look for it in 2020, Sabana the Sloth. So again, I think this is a not realistic fiction, but it's got pieces of my life. So fiction, picture book. Basically, I'm a worrier. Always have been as a kid. And so I think this really highlights that mental health aspect. And I'm hoping that it can help some people, because the whole idea is we've all got our baggage. We've got issues. A lot of us worry more than others. And just the idea that we can't get rid of things that we have necessarily, but we learn to live with it and find different ways. And so the girl in the book, her name's Lula, and she's I looked up her name. I'm actually down in Georgia right now because I just graduated from UGA for my master's in teaching there. And I was driving past a town called Lula, Georgia, and I thought, that's got to be the name for the book. And I look it up. It means fearless warrior. So we've got Lula and Sabana. And Sabana in Spanish means bed sheet. Because sloths, they sleep 14 hours a day. So
cool.
That's pretty much what they do. But Sabana can't sleep in the story because he worries a lot.
That must be why I relate to the sloth so much.
Me too.
I do enjoy a good sleep. I do.
Sloth and gluttony for me.
Gosh, how old are you, Christina?
I am 24, just turned 24.
24,
January
about
9th.
to have her second book published.
What
the hell was I doing
wrong?
at 24? I'm
Happening.
trying to think at 24
No,
what I
but
was
you guys
doing.
are here. See, that to me is amazing.
I mean,
I'm telling you, I listen to you guys every day.
Thank
going
you.
to high school.
I
Yes.
love that.
This means a lot.
I love that.
You'll have to come back with your new book.
Yes, we'll do.
And if you ever need us to dress up as a llama for you,
Yeah.
We can make
We're
that.
on board.
We can make that dream come true.
We'll do it. We'll do a live reading to a school kid, and then Megan, I'll dress up as the
You guys
llama.
are coming. I actually have some events coming up. Southeast Ohio. I'm going back to OU. Oh yeah.
Halloween.
February. Yeah, maybe next year. I'll be down. It's February 15th. I'm going to Fairfield County Library. That's more in Somerset. So if you're wanting to make the road trip, it's totally worth it because Donna is actually bringing Harmony the llama to the library.
That's
so
the best.
I convinced the librarians, so we're making that happen. And then later that day, I'll be in Athens, Ohio. It's called White Mills, just there at the store. And then the following day on Court Street, that's on Sunday, February 16th at 1 p.m. That's at Little Professor. It's on Court Street. So I love OU.
Cristina
So glad to go back.
Sicard,
So
St. Tom
great.
OU, published author at 24. Second book's going to be coming out
Thank you
here.
so much, guys.
We
Be sure
love
to go
this.
get Harmony right now. You can get it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Check it out.
Do
get
it. You won't
read
regret
it. Enjoy it.
Yeah, and
Very
head over
cool.
to we'll put her on our Instagram with the book and everything and all the details on there as well.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we'll make some posts around social media so you guys can go and check her out. Local girl does good. Support her.